T-minus 10 minutes. T-minus 9 minutes. T-minus 8 minutes. T-minus 7 minutes. T-minus 6 minutes. minus 5 minutes. Minus for minutes. Minus 3 minutes. Minus 2 minutes. Minus 1 minute. Stand by.
How about that?
The weather outside is frightful. That's what I hear anyways. Welcome to a very special edition of the RP Show, everybody. Coming your way in a variety of platforms. However you decided to join us today, I'm sure glad you did. It's the Christmas episode. We're going to veer a little off script, but not a ton. There is a script. Believe it or not, we do have a script. I know that's very hard to believe. Hockey analyst Jared Dumba coming up in the second hour from the famous hockey-playing Dumba family. And boy, are you in a treat. No, it's not a reindeer. It's not a reindeer. It's a moose. The moose joins us. A somewhat shaven Darren Moose Dupont joins us from northern Saskatchewan. Merry Christmas, Moose. How you doing?
Hey, Rod. Happy holidays. I'm doing great. I've been up here for a little while. I was doing the Grand Slam of curling for the last 10 days or so before I got up here. And the number of people in Saskatoon, I never told you about this on our phone call, that came up to me on the concourse and said, "Are you the Moose? Man, I love watching you on the show, you and Rod. It's so great. I know it's not quite as often as we'd like, but we're loved in Saskatoon, and so are you, so it's great."
Well, part of the reason I brought you on is not just because I enjoy when you're on, but the viewers, I'm tired of answering, where's Moose? Where's Moose? Where's Moose? Only 1,645 shows. I guess, Moose, you started something. You started something here with the RP show, okay? And so not only that, Darren and I have these phone calls. We had one this morning, and we go into these with things to talk about, and then we never talk about them. So here's another one that you wouldn't know. How many years are we on Game Plus TV? What year is it? Do you know?
No, I've lost track. I want to say it's 5?
5 or 6. But for the first year, for the first time out of all of that, they're taking this week and next off. So that's the first time that's ever happened. So we're not live on Game Plus television, but that's okay. We're here on YouTube and obviously podcast and WQVZ radio in Alabama and the U.S. South. And we're also on in Nevada in hour 2. You won't be with us for that. But you know what? This segment is already halfway over. So before we get into the sports talk, I'll push that into the next segment. Other than to give a roadmap of what we're going to be talking about with Moose here today. NHL from last night, a lot of NFL notes. The Roddies, the trophy that we announced on Monday that we're going to be handing out next week for the broadcaster, media person of the year, not broadcaster of the year. That's what we're going to talk about. Team of the year, player of the year, coach of the year. We're going to talk whatever CFL notes there may be, college football, NBA. But since you're here and we don't get you that much, just tell the folks, you said that I know that you're with the Grand Slam of curling. I knew that, but not a lot of people do. So because of your adoring public, tell them, Darren, what's up in your life, please.
Yeah, a little bit. And, we've been busy as an executive producer over at HTN and doing some broadcasting over there too. So been all over. Been with the Grand Slam of curling up to Lake Tahoe and then down to Saskatoon, which has been really fun. And then involved in some flag football too. It's called the Oakley Icon Alliance, put on by Oakley and Meta. Was in Las Vegas just before coming here for the holidays with that, and we'll be in LA in the new year. So some fun, exciting things happening for sure.
So there you go. Darren is a very, very busy guy. Plus, he's newly married. What the hell? Because it's the Christmas episode, and I'll be in the very giving spirit from our audience. Brent in Wellington, Florida writes in. He says, "The Moose has been spotted. Love the coffee cup. Merry Christmas, fellas." Same to you and yours, Brent. Jenna in Southern California writes in. She says, "Good morning from Southern California." There was a Brent in Saskatoon wrote in, but he's deleted his comment. I'm not sure why. There was no swearing involved. And Shane in Deer Valley writes in and says, "Merry Christmas, Rod, Darren, Corey and Rod squad." And, of course, you got to include Joe, 747 Gunnis in there, our business manager. But, again, we're in the opening segment. It's the Christmas episode. The last time I saw you face-to-face was in Palm Springs. You're now married. What a wonderful event that was. You were down there for not just the wedding. It was just the wedding. But that was fun.
That was so much fun. It was good to see everybody down there, get everybody together. And the whole idea of it was, it was nice and it was very formal, but we wanted to be very intimate. All the people who meant the most to us were down there, our closest friends and family. And a lot of people couldn't make it too, but yeah, it was really great to be down there, and yeah, it was awesome that you made it.
902-518-3033. If you would like to send out some Christmas greetings to whoever you want, 902-518-3033. You can write us there on the Western Dodge text line. Are you looking to trade up? Western Dodge makes it easy with top dollar trade-ins and unbeatable deals. Again, the number is 902-518-3033. And the YouTube chat as well. Just so you know, people do love talking about the broadcasters, as you know, and media people just as much as the athletes themselves. I don't know why that is, but that is the way that it is. On the phone call this morning, I told you there's some influencers in the NHL that would like to change the criteria of the Foster Hewitt Award. And I looked up the criteria for the award. Do you know what it is? Or do you want me to inform you and the masses of what it is? I want you to just,
be clear. I know I have an idea, but the language.
Okay, it's basically to award yearly excellence in hockey broadcasting in the roles of play-by-play, color analysis, and hosting. So if you turn on the television, anybody that you're watching doing a hockey game is eligible for the award. So whether it be the play-by-play broadcaster, the color commentator, or the host. And there are influencers. I don't mind saying them. They're my friends. Frank Saravelli. I can't remember who all else. Frank's the guy that I noticed the most. They want to see it expanded to media people. And that would make him eligible. Just saying the role has changed. We only have a minute and a half before we break. But your thoughts on that effort by the guys, and should it evolve?
Yeah, I saw him pushing it. I saw John Butchergross pushing it. And when John pushed it, it was to get Barry Melrose and Don Cherry in the Hall of Fame. And for that, I wholeheartedly agree those two should be in there, and hopefully while they're still walking on the face of this earth, so they can enjoy it and be appreciated for what they brought to the game.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Roddy. One category is Media Person of the Year, so that'll include newspaper writers, play-by-play, color analysts, influencers, bloggers, whoever is in the media. Okay, and I'd like to say earning a paycheck. That makes it a profession. It makes it a profession. Okay. So yeah, I feel like we're cracking the Pandora's box here that we'll get into when we come back. And by the way, there is only one game at all, period, anywhere tonight. It's in college football. It's the Hawaii Bowl, Cal at Hawaii at 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no games, but then tomorrow there's a plethora. And the poll question today is for EMJ Marketing. Should leagues be playing on Christmas Day? So everybody percolate on that a little bit in the break, and we'll be back after this very brief 3.5-minute pause. We're just getting going on our Christmas edition. The Moose is with us. It's a very special edition, everybody. And Jared Dumba coming up in the second hour. You're watching us live streaming on YouTube, replayed maybe on Game Plus TV. I'm not totally sure. Podcast and 1700 AM Mission Radio, WQVZ.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Looking for a new ride without the big city pressure? Come to Western Dodge in Moose Jaw, where you'll find an unbeatable lineup of Ram trucks, Jeep SUVs, Dodge Muscle, and Chrysler family rides. With knowledgeable staff, great prices, and that friendly Moose Jaw touch, you'll drive away with confidence. Western Dodge. Big selection, small town service. Visit us today or browse online at westerndodge.ca.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon and
Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Are you ready? January 8th to 11th, it all goes down in Moose Jaw at the Yara Center. The battle on the prairies. NCAA rules. 25 elite teams. Alberta, Boston, Texas, Mexico, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. All under one roof. Come watch live. Tickets available right at the door. Pay-per-view will be available at ikslive.ca.
21-time nominated Grammy Award winner Dwight Yoakam. Live in concert. June 24th, 7 p.m., Temple Garden Center. I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere. Time don't matter to me. Dwight Yoakam. On sale now at sasktix.ca. Dwight Yoakam Live.
Welcome back. And man, they've had some absolute bangers at the Temple Garden Center in Moose Jaw for country music concerts. Dwight Yoakam coming up June 24th. Last year, Mark Chestnut. The year before that, Clint Black. Where I Cried. You'll remember, dear, I Cried. We're brought to you in part by Pump Jacks Cathedral and Pump Jacks Weyburn. Pump Jacks Steakhouse and Saloon. Come early, stay late at the place where friends meet. And the Rod Squad newsletter brought to you by Suds Full Service Car Wash. A clean vehicle drives better, runs better. That's what my dad always said. Check out sudsregina.com for more details and pick up your gift cards. It's not too late. Moose, it got people going. The poll question before the break, I said, brought to you by EMJ Marketing, is should leagues be playing on Christmas Day? I'll tell you that the vote is right around 50-50. That should not surprise anybody. Doesn't surprise me. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. But where I draw the line, and this is an impossible thing to answer, all leagues should not be playing on Christmas Day. One.
Oh, okay.
Pick one, maybe two. The thing about the holidays, and I'm kind of upset that I'm not that upset, but I wish there was more bowl games today. There's got to be something. The NBA has always been the Christmas Day thing, right? Was the NBA. Boxing Day is the World Juniors, and you move on and on and on, right, as you go through. New Year's Eve is a little bit of a mix of World Juniors and bowl games and all the rest. But now the NFL's in. Is the NHL playing on Christmas Day? Like, it's too much, because Christmas Day, you want to spend with your family, but then you also want to have the game on. So you want to watch the game. It's basketball. It's whatever. Everything too much. You don't want it to be another day on the sporting calendar.
Well, you know what's funny about that? This came up over the last couple of days in this spot with Scruffy on Monday, Kevin the Medium yesterday, and now with you today. And a lot of the viewers were like, what about the players? What about their families? What about the staff? Don't worry about them. To me, it's about the birth of Jesus Christ. End of story. The reason for the season. That nobody's talking about that. That to me would be the reason whether they should play or not. Chick-fil-A is still closed on Sunday because the founder of Chick-fil-A is a huge God guy. That's the only reason why they don't worry about the families not being able to be with their loved one. They can go to the damn game if they want to. Am I too old school on that?
No, you're not. It needs to be a big part about that. If there's a game that's part of it, I'm okay with that. But how would they ever do it? You need to get in a summit. Like the NFL says, okay, CBS, you get the Super Bowl this year, and then NBC gets it next year. Now we're going to sprinkle and they go in a rotation. You almost got to sit everybody down and say, okay, NBA, you get Christmas Day, NFL, you can have Thanksgiving. New Year's Day can be the NHL and the Winter Classic, and everybody can have their thing and live in harmony. But every league is just elbowing their way in there, right? Trying to fight for every eyeball and dollar they can.
Absolutely hilarious that you would say that, because I say the same. It would be nice to all get in the room. It's never going to happen. And they are all at war with each other. But the problem is the NFL just steps in and punk, just squashes everybody. Like I remember
Like
a year ago at this time, my brother says, and he's totally right, that we live in a 24-hour society, the way people are now. We don't think about the past. We don't think about the future. We think about today. And he's right. But a year ago, the college football playoff round one went up against the NFL on Sunday, if you remember. And Jim Barker on this show said, we'll find out next year who won the ratings battle, whether the college does it again. And they didn't. The games were Friday and Saturday night. The NFL always wins, and they know that they're always going to win. So maybe the NBA will get squeezed right out and not even play Christmas Day anymore. I don't know, because there is a triple header tomorrow in the NFL. Anyways, Wayne writes in from Victoria, BC. He says, Merry Christmas, Rod and Darren and crew. Moose. Also, Merry Christmas to the Rod Squad as well, and have a Happy New Year. I guess we could actually talk about some sports here, but let's get some comments coming in. Vancouver Eric writes in. He says, RP, you're definitely old school. LOL. I am, but I've also realized the God topic really does rub people the wrong way. So I largely keep it to myself in a lot of ways. But Darren, yeah, I'm old school, but I'm not stuck in my ways. I'm at least open enough to consider other perspectives.
Yeah, and I've seen that. I've seen that. And I think that's important, to have your beliefs and your core, faith and whatever that looks like, but also be open to other people having their ways and think things differently and all the rest. There's just not a lot of living in harmony with other people. You want it to be your way or the highway, or, you know what I mean? And that's where it's not this religion or this political belief or that political belief. That's the problem. The problem is not accepting everybody else and differing opinions.
Bro, your lips to God's ears. As a matter of fact, whoa. I just spit the kazoo right out of my mouth. I'm going to jump around with a quick. Like the NHL games happened last night. Boom. Film at 11. There were 13 games. I was 7 of 13 on my picks. Vegas scored 5 goals in the first period on the way to romping San Jose 7-2. The Oilers slapped around the Flames 5-1 at Rogers Place. The Leafs finally won. They beat Pittsburgh 6-3. Habs won at Boston 6-2. I didn't have that one. Sabres have won, 7 in a row now? They beat Ottawa 3-2 in overtime. I didn't see that coming. So there's a snippet of the NHL. I guess since I have you here, I don't want to waste it. You are one of the biggest Leaf fans I know. People had so many high hopes going into the season, and now this. They fired Mark Savard, their assistant coach, on Monday. How are you on the Leafs?
Well, you see how they bounce back after that. Clearly, and I don't know exactly, I shouldn't say clearly Craig Berube went in the room, but you can imagine Craig Berube going into the room and saying, look, you guys got him his job. You lost him his job. One of my good friends that I brought in here to coach with me, and because of your effort, he's out. They come out and score 6 goals against Pittsburgh, right? That only works in the short term. I don't know if that's going to turn that team around. There's enough talent there. I mean, Mitch Marner clearly wasn't the issue. I mean, regular season wise, doesn't mean they didn't need to change things a little bit and learn a new process, but they got to learn that process real quick. And we'll see if there's a little bit of a wake up call or a reset here over the holidays.
Well, what people, the ones that are paying attention, are realizing is that sports is sports. It doesn't matter the sport. It's how I can work between football, hockey, and baseball at a high level, and it doesn't matter. Look at you. What'd you say earlier? You're working in curling and flag football and you're working in baseball, I think, right? Because the concepts are the same. Leafs, Cowboys. I don't know about the Leafs because they're not my team, but the Cowboys are, and they're going to miss the playoffs. And I see this morning on ESPN, ticker across the bottom says, Jerry Jones optimistic about next season. I wanted to address this later, but I will now. What I would like to say to Jerry is, Why? Why would you be optimistic? Okay. But with the Leafs, they don't work hard enough. And they haven't for as long as I've been actually paying attention. Is that right?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, it feels that way. And I think, that's been something that I think has like plagued the Oilers teams and some other teams at times. And you see it when you have really good top end players at times, right? Colorado's clearly figured it out how to work hard throughout that lineup. Edmonton now figuring it out. They figured it out in the playoff run, working hard. But whenever these teams struggle, what happens is you have these really, really good high-end players. And, we're talking about Austin Matthews with the Leafs. And then you think the rest of the lineup doesn't need to work. The rest of the lineup feels like, oh, Austin will score some goals and we'll be fine. Connor will get it done. Connor and Leon will get it done. And the rest of the lineup, frustratingly to the fans, doesn't do anything. And that becomes an issue. That's natural. We all work hard. We all, as human beings, we all work hard. But whenever we see an opportunity, if somebody else doing a really good job and us to take a little bit of a break, we often do that. It's just human nature. So I think, you got to find a way for that whole lineup to get going. And that's why you often see a crazy stat when Sidney Crosby's out of the lineup or McDavid's out of the lineup or Matthews is out of the lineup. These teams have a better winning percentage than when they're in it. It's not by much, but everybody else steps up and overall you end up having a better team. It's kind of a weird phenomenon.
Dipping into the audience, John Ohm checks in from Winnipeg. He says, Merry Christmas. Brian in Winnipeg writes in. He says, Merry Christmas. I hope Santa brings my Jets a win and more. Otherwise, it will be last place. Oh, he just deleted his comment because there's some typos in there. Oops. Let's be honest. We're out of order here. Forgive us, everybody, for going off-roading with the Moose today. I knew that was going to happen. So we unveiled the Roddies on Monday. We'll be voting on them and awarding them next week. They're the trophy for 4 categories: Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Team of the Year, Media Person of the Year. So Tony in Cochrane, Alberta wanted a day or two to think about his. He writes in and says, I nominate Team of the Year, Toronto Blue Jays. Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel. Tough choice for Player of the Year between Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Shohei Ohtani. And says Media Person of the Year, Mel Kiper. Well, Tony was the guy that said, can you clarify Media Person of the Year? And I'll say anybody who's making a paycheck in the industry, which incidentally with the Cats and Bolts podcast, I finally got a paycheck for the first time in season 3. So I am now a professional Panthers podcaster because I'm making money at it. Not like some Rudy Poo in his basement. Sorry. If you're making, this hasn't changed, right, people? To be a professional at something, you need to make money at it. I'm a mental health and addiction recovery professional because I make money at it. I'm a professional broadcaster. That's still a thing, right, Darren? So anyways, if you earn a paycheck in the media, period, you're eligible for the Roddy as Media Person of the Year. To clarify for that, Tony. So I know, Darren, you have some fun thoughts on this.
I do. The one that I really have the least opinion on probably is Athlete of the Year. I really don't have a strong opinion on who that should be. Team of the Year, yeah, I'll go with the Blue Jays for sure. I would go with the Blue Jays. That's where my mind and my heart lead.
That's mine too. Yep.
Coach of the Year, I give it to Corey Mace. What he did with the Riders was great.
We all are,
and yeah. I love him. I do. But Media Person of the Year, I'll give you a couple. One, it's John Gruden. Is John Gruden not the Media Person of the Year? He has been fantastic since joining Barstool. He's really found a way to get into their ecosystem, but still be his own person. And he is so likable, getting all these gifts from people and teams across North America. The way he's fallen in love and shown his true love for hockey when he gets those boxes that he opens. Plus, he's still analyzing, quarterbacks and football like crazy. And the way he's just, been in love with this Phillip Rivers situation. So for me, it's John Gruden as Media Person of the Year. But a dark horse media couple that's really shown up in the NFL is Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt have been a lot of fun to watch on CBS.
Well, we got about a week before I put this to a vote. But I could pretty much tell you right now, Corey Mace of the Saskatchewan Roughriders will win Coach of the Year. The Blue Jays are probably going to win Team of the Year. The finalists for Media Person of the Year will very likely be Luke Wilson, Biznasty, Dan Shulman, the voice of the Blue Jays, got a lot of votes or write-ins, and maybe a fourth. But yeah, anybody who's earning a paycheck in the media, period. I'll tell you, it was about a little over 20 years ago, was the first year that I made a paycheck in radio, television, print, newspapers, and internet. I was quite proud of that. And I'm like, well, I thought I would only do it for 1 year and just kept doing it over and over and over again. So it's earning a living in the media, making money at it. Okay. Not a hobby. Okay. When we come back, we'll try to get to some of the sports games. Maybe. The poll question is, should the leagues be playing on Christmas Day? We'll update the poll for EMJ Marketing. Got a sports update on the way, and our hockey analyst, Jared Dumba, in hour 2. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show in a variety of places, including YouTube Live and WQVZ Radio.
Are you ready? January 8th to 11th, it all goes down in Moose Jaw at the Yara Center. The battle on the prairies. NCAA rules. 25 elite teams. Alberta, Boston, Texas, Mexico, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. All under one roof. Come watch live. Tickets available right at the door. Pay-per-view will be available at ikslive.ca.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection, booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina. This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. As much as it is our Christmas episode and we're off-roading with the Moose, who joins us from Candle Lake today, we got to stay on point with our sponsors. The Junior Hockey Report, we do it every day for the Mad Greek. In Moose Jaw, Canada capped its pre-tournament exhibition games with an offensive explosion against Denmark. This is for the World Juniors, scoring 13 goals on 50 shots in a dominant 13-2 victory in Minnesota last night. Canada over Denmark 13-2. Projected first overall pick Gavin McKenna had 2 goals and 2 assists, while Tidge Aginla continued his scoring surge with a pair of goals. So if you're going to be watching World Juniors these holidays, which you are, and you're in the Moose Jaw area, whether it's pizza, ribs, or authentic Greek favorites, make it the Mad Greek Eatery, open until 11 p.m. Order online, pick up, or dine in. Check out their menu at themadgreekeatery.com. Well, Moose, I know you're dying to talk about the NFL. Here's a couple of things. Travis Kelce, as we continue the quick six show topics, point 1 was NHL, point 2 NFL. Travis Kelce's played in 96 regular season home games for the Chiefs. The next one might be his last. The 36-year-old, chosen for the Pro Bowl for the 11th time, will be at Arrowhead Stadium Thursday for a game against the Denver Broncos. With the Chiefs out of playoff contention, it could be his final appearance there. Kelce has not announced his retirement plan, but plans to decide quickly after the season. Does he come back or not, Moose? What do you think?
I think he comes back. I don't think he wants this to be the lasting memory is the team missing the playoffs. So I think he'll play.
Well, so furthermore, do you think the Chiefs are going to be back in the playoffs?
I do. I think this team is too good in terms of, when you have the quarterback and the coach, possibility to be great. Look at how fast the New England Patriots turned it around with the quarterback and the coach. That seems to be the pair, quarterback, coach. Like what's happened in Jacksonville. Quarterback, and the new coach. That's what happens. Quarterback and coach. Kyle Shanahan's got his quarterback in Brock Purdy. And I mean, Mac Jones as well played pretty good when Purdy was out. It's the quarterback and coach in the NFL. If you've got that, you're going to be okay. And I think the Chiefs will be okay.
Bro, you've been reading my diary. I honestly said that years ago in another time, which not that I have the patent on it, but Belichick, Brady, Carroll, Russell Wilson, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes.
And Harris.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's coach. You got that? You got a great start. Wayne in BC writes in on the Western Dodge text line. He says, Darren is absolutely correct. There's not enough compromise today. People don't want to give in on sports, politics, or religion. So just hang on to that for a sec. On point 2B, Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin has thrown his support behind wide receiver DK Metcalf. The NFL suspended Metcalf for 2 games after an altercation with a Detroit Lions fan on the weekend. Tomlin said Metcalf shared his side of the story but declined to discuss details. Tomlin acknowledged the interaction is part of what he called a rise in volatile rhetoric in sports. Now, we all love Mike Tomlin, I think. But and as a football coach, particularly an NFL one, he doesn't look outside his tunnel. He probably don't ever leave his office. The coaches do. Hey, Mike, it's not just football. It's the world, as we just said. So I want your thoughts on a rise in volatile rhetoric. Have you watched CNN or Fox News lately? Or what? Like everybody's pissed off. Everybody's fighting. And I'm sitting here going, you understand we're in a global mental health crisis. I don't want to get on my soapbox here, but we are. And everybody's snapping on each other as a byproduct of that. Okay? So what do you think about what Tomlin said and the incident and supporting his player?
Well, and it's acceptable now. It is so socially acceptable to have that volatile rhetoric, right? It used to be that it was just your crazy grandpa or crazy uncle or your dad or your mom or your aunt or whatever that would just spout off about the gas prices or the president or the prime minister or the premier or the governor, And now it's just so acceptable. It's now the core conversation is just, what are we negative about? What are we upset about today? And it is so unhealthy and so negative to focus on it. And it just, when you focus on something, that's what grows, right? What you give your attention to and focus is what grows. And that's what's growing right now, is this negative rhetoric. So Tomlin is right. It's this growing negative rhetoric of the nastiest things, the most extreme things. And you have to be all in on the worst, right? Or on the est, right? The dumbest, the worst, the slowest, or the fastest, the best, whatever. There is no generalities anymore. It's all poignant and it's bad. Now, that being said, that is a line you can't cross, athletes to fans. So the 2-game suspension needs to be upheld. You can never stroke a fan at any point in time by throwing a punt. You can't do it. You can't.
Why not?
But we are in a dangerous society. We are in a dangerous place when fans are allowed to talk like that with whatever they said. I've seen the rumors or the stories on what they've said.
So have I.
But
yeah, I've heard it. Yeah. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, say it. Go ahead.
I mean, the fans leaning over a little bit. There's a fine line, though, too, my mind goes to, if that fan enters the arena of play, right, whatever that is. I think of Rob Ray on the bench, right? Ty Domi in the penalty box for the hockey. That weirdly to me, that feels okay. They've come into your space now. You got to protect yourself a little bit. But the players have to show some restraint at the same time. And it's a hard thing.
I wish you could stay a little longer. Well, I guess that's the difference between old school and new school. I've seen the rumors too. People are saying he was addressed by his government name, they're saying. Let's say his given name. I've also heard there was a racial thing said. Whatever it is, I think it's very important to know what was said, because I'm going to tell you something. You say the wrong thing to me, I'll drill you. And I think we live in a society where it's gone too far, where people think they can do whatever I would say, try it. Because I don't think the fans should be allowed to say whatever they want. I think that's wrong. I also understand that I'm in the minority, and that's why DK Metcalf has been suspended 2 games. But I also know this is why Mike Tomlin's come out and whatever. I'll move on because I don't have a lot of time with you. I'll pick it up after the break. This is important. Kansas City Chiefs are moving across the state line from their longtime home in Missouri to a $3 billion dome stadium to be built in Kansas. It'll have 65,000 seats. They'll move in August 1st, 2031, Darren. There's more to it, but I'll just put this to you because time's limited. I saw a thing this morning on Twitter that every AFC West team now will be in a domed/covered stadium. Maybe outright dome. Chargers, Broncos are getting a dome. Vegas is in a dome. And now the Chiefs will be in a dome. That's 4 teams all in domes. And people are going, football wasn't built to be played inside. People are soft now, man. They want to be comfortable. That's my read on this. You?
It's horrible. It's horrible. I hate it. Arrowhead was one of the last remaining gems. So was Old Taylor Field, I hate Mosaic Stadium. Can I come out and say it? I hate it. Please don't put that in a meme. Please don't put that in a meme. I'll get killed. Or put it in a meme and then put the video right behind it on a carousel of me saying, please don't put that in a meme because it's funny. Look, it's too fancy for the fans. It's too fancy. We're getting too soft, too comfortable. It is a wonderful amenity. The fans deserve to be comfortable and have that wonderful amenity, but it's bad for sports. Now, look at your neighborhoods in your local community. Every house looks the same. Every neighborhood looks the same. Every grocery store looks the same. That's what's happening to sports stadiums. They all look the same. They're all the same. Nashville's getting a new one. It's going to be the same as the new stadium in Kansas City or the new in Buffalo. That's another crime, that Buffalo's getting a new stadium. It's going to be so beautiful and such an amenity for trade shows and concerts and all the rest. But it's bad for sports. We're losing our identity. We're losing it. I hate it.
All the NHL rinks look the same. I mean, you barely are old enough to remember Maple Leaf Gardens, Boston Gardens, Chicago Stadium, Joe Louis. Every rink had its own, and they don't anymore. You saw that I was writing it down for the meme, didn't you? You saw that I was writing
topic of the show. Yeah, I did. I did.
You're like, don't do that. Let's stir them up, Moose, because it's the holidays, man. Let's get people going.
Don't make me out to
man.
be the Grinch. At least put the other clip in there.
I hate Mosaic Stadium. You're going to have to hide under the bed for the rest of your time. Oh, my God. All right. So you're seeing why the people miss you on the show. Happy holidays. All the best in 2026, Moose. Okay, we'll be back in a moment. We'll continue this fun and frivolity after the break, where I think on Game Plus somewhere, WQVZ. We'll be right back.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with The Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
All right, let's continue the fun up into the top of the hour. And then we go to air across Nevada, and we'll be joined by Jared Dumba, our hockey analyst from the famous hockey-playing Dumba family. And with Moose gone, and I would have loved to have had him on for the whole show today. He's got to run. He's got to do family things out there in Candle Lake, Sask. Glad you asked. But before I get down to whatever we're doing today on this special Christmas episode, I do want to thank those for your kind comments And the Christmas comments and all that, and I'm talking about yours, Wayne, in Victoria, BC, which I'll get to in a second. But from Brent, he's watching in the Bridge City. He says, I guess I'm old school too, Rod, with regards to should the teams be playing on Christmas Day or not. He says, I think Christmas should be about Jesus' birth, but this is the world we live in. So there's that. I mean, I meant to ask God, and I forgot. I was talking about a bunch of other things, and it slipped my mind. So we'll ask him. We'll see what he says about them playing. Tony from Cochrane writes in. He says, I have to leave early, so Merry Christmas to all. Please take a moment tonight and tomorrow to say a little prayer for all who are in hospitals, especially the Children's Hospital. May God bless them all. That is the thing. You can talk about the less fortunate, or think about the less fortunate. That's a great idea. Definitely count your own blessings. So it's a reflective time of year. Things are going to slow down, or at least they should. That's why we shouldn't be playing Christmas Day, in my opinion. I voted yes. They should not be playing. Or I guess I should say I voted no. They should not be playing on Christmas Day. But I've been overruled summarily. Anyways, Wayne writes in. He's in BC on the island. On the Western Dodge text line, 902-518-3033. And sometimes I sit here and think I'm just talking to myself, and you guys think I'm full of beans, which maybe I am. But Wayne says, Rod, I have to thank you for your show. It's not just a sports show, but like today's show, you get into the psychology of the day. I enjoy it. That's all that I'm saying. And it's because now I said yesterday, a day like yesterday makes me realize how happy I am with my life and the role that I am. I mean, I love being the voice of the Rough Riders. I did. And before that, I loved being the voice of the Regina Pats. It was great. But now I really love having associations with college football teams, the NFL here in South Florida, the National Hockey League. But because I see behind the curtain of what goes on there, sometimes I wonder who they're consulting on a variety of things, i.e., DK Metcalf of the Steelers being suspended 2 games for an incident with a fan on Sunday. Because I don't think it's right that fans should be able to come in and do whatever they want to the players. I'm sorry, I don't. Then to be like out in the street, if you mouth off to somebody and you get popped, there's a real good chance that the guy that popped you will not be disciplined because of what you said. So because everybody's so upset in this global mental health crisis that we're in for issues that have nothing to do with the sport or the stadium, but you carry that crap on your back into the ballpark and you take it out on the players, that's not right. That's not right. I know that I'm in the minority on that because Wally Buono said it on this show. Rod, you know you can't interact with the fans. I'm sorry, but why not? I'm respectful to people. That should be the baseline. That's all. We've gotten so far away from it. And maybe in this case of DK Metcalf, because I haven't delved a ton into it, how much do they know of what the fans said or did? If it was racial, I'm sorry, man. You get what's coming to you, in my mind. Brian from Winnipeg writes in, he says, all sports should be shut down for one day so families can be together like the old days when all the stores were shut down. There's always PVR for people who need sports every day. I mean, well, here's the thing. There's only one game today. One. If you can find anything other than the Hawaii Bowl, which is at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, Cal at Hawaii, it's the only game on the schedule. The NHL's on a 3-day break. The NFL ain't playing. The NBA's not playing, so you take today off, but not Christmas Day. If you can take a day off, why wouldn't it be Christmas Day? Anyways, Trent writes in from Norway. Where'd you go, Trent? He goes, Norway here. Merry Christmas to all. Back home in Canada, in Norwegian, they say, God jul. Okay, well, you learn something new every day. We said it was our Christmas episode, and I'm very proud of the fact we've stayed on point with that. But as you pointed out, Wayne in BC, you're right. It is a sports show, so we do have sponsors keeping us on the air every day. God bless them. The sports update for the Ultimate Fan Zone your home for jerseys, collectibles, and all the gear you need. They're open this afternoon. If you want to get in there, there's still time to get gifts for the sports nut in your life where you can actually try stuff on and actually touch it. You want to talk about old school? The Edmonton Oilers are entering the NHL's Christmas break on a high. The Oilers hammered provincial rival Calgary 5-1 Wednesday night to give them 44 points. That's tied with the Pacific Division leading Vegas Golden Knights, who have a better winning percentage. The Montreal Canadiens entered the NHL's break by clobbering the arch-rival Bruins 6-2 Wednesday night. The win moved the Habs within 2 points of Atlantic Division leading Detroit. I warmed my heart this morning watching ESPN Sports Center, and they had fight of the night. Was it Zadorov and Arbor Jacki? Hockey is gaining significant ground in America. Whether you like it or not, it is. And even last night, I'm like, oh my God, there are 2 games on at the same time. This is a Christmas miracle. It's very, very, very rare that you would have 2 NHL games on cable television at the same time. But we did last night. Panthers at Carolina, and it was the Colorado, I think that was the game. The Toronto Maple Leafs won for just the second time in 7 games when they beat visiting Pittsburgh 6-3. Next up for Toronto is a game against the provincial rival Ottawa Senators Saturday at Scotiabank Arena. The Sens are coming off a 3-2 overtime loss to Buffalo. Sabres have won 7 straight. What I say, when you fire a coach, it's a short bump. When you fire a GM, it's a long bump. Because everybody feels guilty when the GM gets fired. Write it down. Scotty Barnes scored a game-high 27 points as the Toronto Raptors beat the Heat here in Miami 112-91 in NBA play. I had friends here from Toronto at the game. They had a blast. The Oklahoma City Thunder have lost just 4 games so far this NBA season. 2 of them, though, have come this month to the Spurs. San Antonio won their 7th straight game Wednesday by beating the visiting Thunder 130-110. This sports update is for Ultimate Fan Zone, as I said. Are you looking for the hottest fan gear? Rough Riders, NFL, Blue Jays, NHL, you name it, they've got it. Rep your team loud and proud at Ultimate Fan Zone Sports Store, Moose Jaw. Shop now at ultimatefanzone.ca. So in a few moments' time, we'll be pausing at the top of the hour, rolling it over into hour 2 when Jared Dumba will be joining us to talk NHL hockey. And it always goes very fast with Jared from the famous hockey-playing Dumba family. So if you noticed, Monday and Tuesday were very large football days. Matt DeBuck was with us, Florida State 3-time high school football champion with the Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs. Tuesday was Emery Hunt from CBS Sports Network. And I appreciate all of you with your great comments that you wrote in about those guests. I mean, you don't get on this show unless you're good. And even though you may not have necessarily known who DeBuck and Emery Hunt are, you're starting to get to know them. They bring the great, great analysis. It's what makes this show a little different. We bring on the different people than you see from other shows, but just as good, if not better, if I don't mind saying. Where was I going with this? I mentioned there's only one. Nobody yet has written in with any other game today. This is clearly, well, I know why the NFL is playing a triple header on Christmas Day. They can't play today. What is today? Wednesday? Even write it down. Yeah. It's a Wednesday. Get my day. It's what happens during the holiday season to us all, does it not? They just played. There was a Monday nighter, as you know. Everybody played Sunday. They couldn't play today, so they're playing tomorrow. That's still a short week in the National Football League. Today would have been far too short for them. But I'll say this, because we only got a couple minutes left in this segment, and I'm just filling time at this point. But it was very much fun to go down to the Florida Atlantic University yesterday, 1.8 miles from my house, to watch the Boca Raton Bowl, the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. To be honest, we've had a lot of different sponsors for this, even since I've been living here. This is my 5th Christmas in Florida. Bush's Beans did the winning team, Louisville, they were presented a trophy full of baked beans. Can you think of anything better than that? Pretty much everybody in the stadium was given their choice of a bucket hat with a bean design or a ball cap. I left mine in the press box. They had the can of beans mascot. Go look at my own personal social media, Rod Pedersen Official on Instagram or Facebook. I have a fascination with mascots, and that didn't end last night. It was so much fun following around the can of beans mascot. It's a pretty wild game. There was a fight on the sidelines late in the game. So I think Tony from Cochrane has left. He was saying earlier, he's like, who has time to watch all the games? You don't have to. I was counting it up in the press box last night. I think there's like 44 bowl games, something around there, mid-40s. There ain't no way. Nobody is watching all the games. But watch as much as you can because the ball is really, really good. This was also, not only was it the best marketed by Bush's Beans, it was probably the best Boca Bowl we've ever seen, at least in the 5 years that I've been going. Anyways, we'll continue this all next hour. It's the Christmas edition of the RP Show.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference.
We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference.
We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
How about that?
Happy holidays. Season's greetings, Merry Christmas, whatever it is. Hope you're having a good holiday season, a good start to it. It's our Christmas edition of the program. And we're broadcasting on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network across Nevada. We are not on Game Plus TV this week nor next. Things change. You got to roll with it. It's the way that it is they take the week off for Christmas. That's okay. You found us here. And I hope you're ready to have fun on our final show before Christmas. But we'll be back next week. We got a lot to get to today. I'll tell you that our guest is Jared Dumba from the famous hockey-playing Dumba family. I don't even know who his cousin Matt is playing for. I think still Dallas, but maybe not. We'll sort that out when Jared Dumba joins us in the next segment. But we'll stay on point with the quick six show topics and get to as many as we can. But we've been doing a little bit of off-roading today. It's hour 2 for those that have been watching on YouTube. You can always find us on YouTube at The Rod Pedersen Show. Got a lot of viewers over there, too. But as Matt Dubuck, our football analyst on Monday's show, said, this is the pinnacle of the football season right now. Whatever level you want to talk about, let's talk about the National Football League. As we get ready for a Christmas Day triple-header, Travis Kelce has played 96 regular season home games for the Kansas City Chiefs. Frankly, I thought it would be more. But this next one might be his last on Christmas Day. The 36-year-old Kelce will be at Arrowhead Stadium Thursday for a game against the Denver Broncos. With the Chiefs out of playoff contention, it could be his final appearance there ever. In my mind, this voice is blaring, fake news. Kelce has not announced his retirement yet, but plans to decide quickly after the season. I feel like this is a narrative being pushed by whomever, let's just say NFL media. I don't know if it's Kansas City media per se, but NFL media. Oh, what's Travis Kelce going to do? Do you want to make a bet here right now? That might have actually been a pretty good poll question. Does Travis Kelce retire in the offseason? Now, let's remember playing football is not easy, and it's not like it used to be. He doesn't need the money. He hasn't engaged to Tay. He hasn't popped the question to Tay yet, has he? Has he, producer Corey? Has Travis Kelce proposed to Taylor Swift yet? No, I would know about it. I'm not that out of touch. I would know about it if they got engaged. Producer Corey says doesn't know, doesn't care. Well, come on. That would be the royal wedding of the century. He says, sure. Grinch. We found the Grinch. He's producing today's show. Producer Corey. He says he's proud to be the Grinch and the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. But anyways, I don't care any more than he does. The bigger question is the poll question for today, which is brought to you by our friends at EMJ Marketing Elite Speakers Bureau. If you're planning an event and you need a keynote speaker, look up EMJ Marketing's all-star roster, and they'll transform your audience with one of them. Check them out at emjmarketing.com. The poll question is, should sports leagues be playing on Christmas Day? And let me just refresh the poll here to see what's the latest. 76% of you agreeing with me by saying no, they should. Thank you. And I'm sure that the audience here skews a little to my way of thinking. That's why you're watching. But the reason for the season is the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. There, I said it. It is. And the only reason I wince is because I know it touches off a lot of controversy and people get pissed off. I don't know why they do when the God word is used, but I don't think they should be playing on Christmas Day. But the leagues don't agree. The NBA and the NFL are playing. The NHL is not. It's my favorite league. They're taking off Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and as we say in Canada, Boxing Day. But that's the poll question. The owners of the leagues, they don't care about that. Money trumps all. I also get that. And if I really was that welded to the idea, I wouldn't be watching on Saturday. But that's not going to happen. I'll be watching like everybody else. Anyways, you're going to get a bit of a TED Talk here today. But let me just follow this up with one more Kansas City story. The Chiefs, we learned this week, are officially moving across the state line from their longtime home in Missouri to a $3 billion dome stadium to be built in the state of Kansas. The term sheet signed by owner Clark Hunt calls for a stadium which will be opened August 1st, 2031. Will have at least 65,000 seats, and the Chiefs will stay there for at least 30 years, with an option to remain up to 30 years more. Along with the $3 billion stadium, the Chiefs committed to at least $1 billion in ancillary development, unquote, which includes a headquarters and training facility in Olave and at least $700 million worth of retail, entertainment, and other commercial space. So with that, I mean, I don't care. I like progress. I've been with teams that we've moved into new facilities. It was awesome. But I saw a post on social media this morning saying with this, every team in the AFC West will now be in a domed stadium. And let's recap. LA Chargers in SoFi Stadium, Las Vegas Raiders in Allegiant Stadium, Denver Broncos are getting a new dome stadium, and now Kansas City is as well. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but our Hour One co-host, the founder of this show, Darren Moose Dupont, was with us, and he goes, I hate it. We all know I don't need to bring him on to explain it to you why he said it. People, football should be played in the elements. Ask the players, man. I've been the voice of football teams for literally decades. They don't like playing out in the, if it's too hot, they don't like it. If it's too cold, they don't like it. And I don't blame them. And frankly, we are in the softest generation of society ever. Look it up. It's a fact. Fans want to be comfortable. Who wants to pay $700 a ticket to go freeze their ass off and slip on the stairs? And it's not the way it is anymore, brah. So I like to be comfortable. It's why I live in Florida. So I'm okay with it. Maybe that'll be another poll question down the line. Are dome stadiums taboo? I don't think they are. And then furthermore, when I said you've showed up for a TED Talk today, this is like point 1C, because we're opening it with all NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin has thrown his support behind wide receiver DK Metcalf. The NFL suspended Metcalf for 2 games after an altercation with a Detroit Lions fan on the weekend. Tomlin said Metcalf shared his side of the story but declined to discuss details. Tomlin acknowledged the interaction as part of what he called a rise in volatile rhetoric in sports. Well, haven't we all seen that? And here's the thing about Tomlin. I don't know him, but I know guys like him, and by that I mean football coaches. They live in a vacuum, which is their job. I get it. It ain't just in sports, a rise in volatile rhetoric. It's in life. We are in a global mental health crisis. Addiction is at an all-time high. Suicide is at an all-time high. People are walking around screwed up, and they're getting in each other's faces. They're snapping on each other. Stress is at an all-time high. So I see why Tomlin stands by his player, and I don't know. Listen, you can't. I was talking about this with Kevin, the medium, yesterday, our sometime co-host from the Hughes Sports podcast. It's very hard to stay on top of everything that's going on. Like his Vancouver Canucks run a winning streak, and I was like, I didn't even notice. I'm not following what the Vancouver Canucks are doing, but and I also work in the mental health field. So when people are carrying their problems into work or bringing them home or into a sports stadium and you say something, I guess that's my point. I didn't see, I've heard that the fan used his given name, which he doesn't like being his given name being used, whatever. I don't really like being called Rodney, but I'm not going to go stroke somebody over it. But somebody also said that I also saw a report that a racial term was used. And if that's the case, then you get what you get. I don't understand. Somebody please make me understand why fans should be allowed to say whatever they want, and the people in sport are not allowed to strike back. I mean, I was telling stories earlier on this week. Some of our Vegas people that are watching have known me for years. They know my story. I never had a physical altercation. I don't define physical. I had altercations with fans, many of them. I was never disciplined for it. I just don't think you should be able to say whatever you want, because you can't in society. You can't. If you mouth off and say the wrong, number one, in this country, you could get shot, so there's that. But number two, if somebody comes up and pops you in the mouth, the judge is going to want to know what you said to him. He's going to want to know. So why is it okay in the sports arena? Nobody's been able to explain that to me. Anyways, 902-518-3030. Oh, ratings are on the rise, I see. Thank you. If you've got any questions or comments on this, for those that showed up late, the poll question is actually, do you think sports leagues should be playing on Christmas Day? We're starting to get some separation in the poll now. 76% of you saying no, you should not. But whether it's DK Metcalf or whomever, literally, whose side are you on? I just don't think you should be able to say. They say it all the time. You pay your money, you can do whatever you want. I don't know. I have a problem with that. But the leagues don't necessarily agree. Anyways, that's still the opening point. We're 10 minutes into this segment. By the way, Jared Dumba coming up next. He is today's guest from the famous hockey-playing Dumba family, hockey analyst, and as I like to call him, the Tulsa King, as he played many years pro hockey with the Tulsa Oilers. Point 2 of the Quick Six show topics. Mitch Marner scored 2 goals. Riley Smith had a goal and an assist, and the Vegas Golden Knights tied a franchise record with 5 goals in the first period, beating San Jose 7-2 in the Fortress on Tuesday night. Mark Stone also had a goal and a helper, and Brett Howden, Colton Sissons, and Thomas Hertl scored for Vegas. Pavel Dorofeyev, Kaden Korzak, Braden Bowman, and Ivan Barbashev each had 2 assists, while Carter Hart had 21 saves to help the Golden Knights snap a 3-game slide. A couple of those losses came on their Alberta roadie. The 5-goal first tied the Golden Knights franchise record for a period accomplished 4 times previously. Elsewhere, the Edmonton Oilers head into the NHL's holiday break on a high after thumping the Calgary Flames 5-1. In Toronto, Max Domi scored the winner with 8:25 to go, snapping a 23-game goalless streak. I actually forgot he was playing there. His coaches might have forgotten that too. Anyways, Domi scored, added a helper. The Leafs beat Pittsburgh 6-3 and snapped a 3-game Leafs slide. Jared Dumba joining us next identifies as a Maple Leafs fan. So we'll get to the bottom of what's going on with Canada's hockey team, if they are still that, coming back in the next segment. Zachary Bolduc scored to give the Canadians the lead, and Montreal scored 4 goals in a 5-minute span to snap a third-period tie and run away from Boston 6-2. That was all part of a 13-game NHL slate Tuesday, which I picked 7 of 13 right. I'm not sure if that's in the money or not, but it's close. Bowen Byram scored his 2nd goal of the game 31 seconds into overtime, and Buffalo beat Ottawa 3-2, extending their win streak to 7 for the Sabres. Said no one ever. Heading into this Christmas break. Can you remind me of this? I want to ask Jared Dumba when he joins us next his thoughts on what I've been saying all week. When there's a coach firing, you get a little spike. Happens for a little while. Most of the guys in the room feel guilty, but not all of them. A lot of the guys won't like the coach, and they'll be happy, which would also lead to the spike. But with a general manager, it's different. I think it's 5 games. 5 of, like, the Sabres are on a 7-game win streak. 5 of those, the last 5 have come since they fired general manager Kevin Adams. And with the teams that I've been around, when you fire the general manager, everybody feels guilty. Everybody. Because everybody in that room is there because of the general manager. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Not everybody likes the coach, but everybody's there. The GM calls the shots. I was with a team one year that our general manager was suspended for a year, and everything went, the roof caved in. I'm like, oh, they actually do something. They generally manage. That's the term. That's the name of what they do. They're pretty much responsible for everything. And that includes who the coach is, who the trainers are, in a lot of cases who the broadcasters are, and definitely who the players are. So we should not be surprised when a team goes on a heater when a GM's fired, because it doesn't happen that often, and it sure the hell doesn't happen anywhere as close as often as a coach being fired. But I also don't expect this to last. I see some of the pundits are saying, oh, Sabres are going to make the playoffs. No, they're not. Give me a break. Which, point 3 of this Christmas holiday special is the Roddies. We unveiled them on Monday. First time we're ever doing it. I've been thinking about it for years. Finally got around to it. we're going to award year-end awards for Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Team of the Year, and Media Person of the Year. And just so you know, you can't vote for me because I'm recusing myself from eligibility. But it's interesting. I might want to put this down to talk about, and I haven't yet, but there's an award in the NHL called the Foster Hewitt Award. It's just for broadcasters, play-by-play, color, and hosts. And some of the pundits are lobbying to have the criteria expanded for the award to include insiders, influencers, your Paul Bissonnets, your Elliot Friedmans, your you name it, man. The Ryan Whitney's from Spit and Chicklets. Honestly, I don't have a problem with it. I don't at all, because our business has evolved. I'm not against change. And I want to ask Jared who he would vote for these awards. And you too, because we're going to put it to a vote next week. Player of the Year, Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, Media Person of the Year. And we'll be right back. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a lot of hockey in the next segment. We'll be right back. You're watching Across Nevada here on the Silver Sports Entertainment Network, WQBZ Radio.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference. We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live. Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, Done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Our P show continues, and we remind you to please sign up for the Rod Squad newsletter. It drops every Sunday, full of top 10 goodies, 10 things, brought to you weekly by Suds Full Service Car Wash. Fuel your fleet's finesse with Suds Regina's unbeatable cleaning packages. Trust me, I'm a very happy customer. They'll shine like new every time. Visit sudsregina.com. A clean vehicle runs better. That's what my dad always said. And Jared Dumba, you know dads are always right, right?
Always. Mine's never been wrong. He'll tell you he's only been wrong once in his life. It was this time he thought he was wrong, but he wasn't. That's the only time he's ever been wrong.
My longtime broadcast partner, Al Dumba, Jared joining me from the famous hockey playing family. Listen, just for fun, this is our Christmas episode, as you saw. We've been saying. Our poll question today is, should leagues be playing on Christmas Day? Our beloved NHL is not. They're on a 3-day Christmas break right now, but the NFL and NBA are. Should they be playing Christmas Day?
I say yes, and only because when I played, we always had a game on Christmas Day. I mean, might have been 1 or 2 years in my career where we didn't. Those were the funnest games for whatever. It's fun going down. Yeah, you might miss out on the big feast at lunch, but you got a little feast after the game anyways. And usually it's just a different feel at the Christmas game. Everybody's there, they're loose, they're happy, the fans and the players. So it's kind of a different atmosphere.
Well, it certainly is fun for sure, but I mean, we've kind of been debating this all week, and people are like, "What about the players' families?" I'm like, they're the last ones you want to worry, but they're having the most fun. If that's what for me, frankly, it's a religious thing. That's why I don't think that they should play. But the owners clearly, Jared, hey, they see that there's some money to be made, and that's why. Yeah, exactly. That's why they do it. Look, before we jump into all the hockey stuff, you saw me say before the break, the Roddies. We're going to be voting on them next week. I'm taking nominations from viewers for Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Team of the Year, and Media Person of the Year. And just so you know, my Player of the Year I have is Brad Marchand. I know not a lot of people will agree, but he's been everything for the Florida Panthers, who incidentally have given me a mug and treat me like gold. Coach of the Year, though, I went with Corey Mace of the Saskatchewan Roughriders for personal and professional reasons. Team of the Year, I said the Blue Jays, losing the World Series in Game 7. And Media Person of the Year, I said Biz Nasty. But for you, who's your Player of the Year you would want to see win the Roddy?
Player of the Year so far, you picked Marchand. You know what? I wouldn't have probably said this, even though I am a big Bedard guy. If he was still playing, I probably wouldn't have picked Bedard. I probably would have said McKinnon. But when you're in the playoffs and then your team can't win a game without you in the lineup, you might be the most valuable player on your team. So I'd say Connor Bedard right now.
Oh, tell me. Hey, there's no wrong answer. I'll probably put him in the 4 finalists, just so you know. Because as you know, I'm as big a fan of his as you are. Your Team of the Year. This is all sports, of course, but you're a hockey guy.
All sports? Wow. Yeah. I mean, all sports. I'm going to have to go Saskatchewan Roughriders, Roddy, being a rider, living in Regina here, just a couple blocks from the stadium. What a year for the Riders. Team of the Year has to go to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Coach of the Year, I'm going to have to say Mace along with you. I mean, if you're you hear how great he is, but when you live in the city and you talk and you have lots of contacts with guys on the team, ex-players, stuff like that, I've never heard one person say anything but talking about like this guy, like he is the top of the top. He is the best person. He's the best coach. He'll give you the greatest human being to ever live. So I'm going to have to go Mace as well for Coach of the Year.
And you won't hear anything negative about him either. And then the real fun one, frankly, is Media Person of the Year. And I'll say it again. I said Biz Nasty of Spit and Chicklets for a variety of reasons. I knew him way back when Gary Drummond owned the Arizona Coyotes, and we hit it off then. And he answers all my texts and calls. He comes on this show. He's a good guy. And to me, that does mean a lot. But that's me. And he's very good at what he does. Who would be your Media Person of the Year?
Media person of the year. That's a tough one. There's so many good ones. You know who
Yeah.
I think has taken leaps and bounds from where he was a couple years ago? That I'll just go ahead and say, Kyle Bukowski. I love listening to the guy. He's a young guy, but he's very, very professional. He's very good. You can tell he's going to be that next kind of echelon of a guy that they're going to push ahead. Not as exciting as a Biz Nasty, but you listen to the 32 Thoughts podcast. Those guys are funny. I think Kyle does a really good job.
This is the host of Sportsnet NHL, everybody in Canada, which incidentally, the kid is from, I believe it's Terrace, BC. He's done it right. He's paid his dues and he's all that. So thank you for that nomination. Now, I've been giving you the fun topics. The not so fun is your Toronto Maple Leafs. What the hell is going on?
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of threefold, Roddy. I think what you got, obviously the main one everybody knows, without having your leading scorer back, no Marner this year. Number two, the second thing is what's going on with Austin Matthews. He does look like he's come a little bit the last couple of weeks, maybe, but tell us what's going on, because if there's no injury, that's very, very alarming. So those two things, Marner gone, what's going on with Matthews? And then I think the other thing is just everything seems to be pulling the wrong way at the wrong time. You know, like it started with the goaltender being gone, Wall being gone, or Wool, as some people want me to call him, Joseph Wall. Then, you know, just having certain guys out at certain times, it doesn't seem like it's coming together. You got a new bit of a new look team with the new DNA. It just hasn't come together yet. The good news is that if you string together 5 or 6 wins, you can be right there in the top of the division. But you have to string together 5 or 6 wins. It's only so long we can say that before you're too far out of it. So it just looks like a little bit of a mess right now. I really hope that they don't fire Berube, make any rash decisions like that. But you never know in Leafland. You never know what's right around the corner. To me, I don't know. I still have confidence in them, but it's just been a mess.
I saw that viewer that was up your ass about mispronouncing Wall, and if I may give you a little tip on that, at least you know they're watching. That's all I can say. If they weren't, that's actually worse. So then the next thing with the high profile firings, the Leafs fire Mark Savard on Monday, an assistant coach, and they go out and win 6-3. We all know he's not the problem, but whatever. Sometimes you need a shakeup, and that was that for the Leafs. When you fire a general manager like the Sabres did, that's earth-shaking. And the Sabres are on this 7-game win streak. Thoughts on Buffalo?
Well, I mean, Buffalo's got a lot of the right pieces. Was it the GM's fault that they weren't winning? I can't see it. The one thing that will do is when you do that, everybody in that room goes, "Oh, the GM just got fired. We better, it's time to pull up our bootstraps, boys. Let's get going here." And I think everybody knows that there's new blood coming in. They've got to perform for. I mean, Kekalainen's been there for a little bit, but it's still now if he's taken over the helm. Now, guys might be worried that they're going to get shipped out of town, so they might be bringing their A game a little bit. Some guys get excited that, it just depends on the relationship you had with this GM. Most guys will be upset and feel bad, feel like they didn't pull their weight. And there's always going to be those few guys that are happy he's gone, that think, the new guy's going to title in a trade for there's always those guys on the team, but everybody kind of gets excited. So that's what's been going on here. Let's see what happens over the next 10-game segment. I would bet that they're going to come back down to earth, but we'll see. Maybe they keep it going.
Well, they're not that good. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong in this, but I don't think I am. When a coach is fired, the guys that liked him feel guilty, and the guys that didn't like him are happy. So either way, the play spikes. But when it's a GM, as you just said, everybody feels guilty because that guy's responsible for putting them in that position. They all feel bad. That's what I think is going on with Buffalo.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And I just lost you for a split second. I think I know what you said there, Roddy. But yeah, when the coach, it's a lot different when the coach gets fired, because when a coach gets fired, usually about 80 to 90% of that room is just happy. Uh, Basically, not that everybody hates the coach, but they're happy because now the pressure's not on the players. Now they've got an excuse. We've had our scapegoat. Okay, we can start over again. Let's start fresh. The coach took this one. You get in new blood. Lots of guys coach. But yeah, with the GM, it's like this guy brought all of us in here, boys. Like this is, and we failed him, and now he's losing his job because we didn't do our job. So yeah, it's a complete different thing than having a coach get fired, where it's a little bit more of a celebration behind the scenes for some guys.
So let me ask you this. We're a little early for the talk of trade deadline talk, but as you've seen over the last couple of years, well, we've had the Quinn Hughes trade was made and the Stuart Skinner trade was made. But for teams that are contending and for teams that are waving the white flag, the reason I ask is Steven Stamkos, I don't think anybody thinks finishes the year in Nashville. And just the other night in the press box here in Sunrise, a guy leaned over to me and goes, "Where's Stamkos going?" And I'm like, well, I don't know, but do you think A, he'll be moved, and B, could he flip a franchise's fortune? Like look at an aging Brad Marchand. Look what he did for the Panthers last year. He is like this year's Marchand.
Yeah, it's all going to depend on where he goes. I do think he'll be going somewhere. I mean, there's no use keeping everybody around. You got to blow it up there at some point. I think they'll do that in Nashville. But where does he go, and does he fit in? People saying, "Oh, what if he went into Montreal and he could help out some of those young guys?" Not the move I would make, but yeah, maybe. Does he go on to a veteran team? Is there any way that? I mean, the Oilers don't. When you look at what everybody has to trade, I don't think there's going to be a lot of moves this year because it's so tight right now, and with the deadline, with the cap going up, they're a little bit sheepish to make decisions with some of the new rules. But I think Stamkos, he'll be good wherever he goes, but he could be a real good fit for somebody. Where could you go? I mean, you want to pick one of the better teams all the time. What if he went into Toronto? Does he change Toronto around? All of a sudden, Matthews has another right winger to play with. Could that get pulled off when you look at what Toronto has? But now, when you look at Stamkos, man, he only had a couple of goals about a month ago. He's up to 15 goals now. Yeah, he had the 4-goal game, which doesn't hurt. But he's turning it on, and there's got to be a lot of teams that are they're pushing for the playoffs and in the playoffs right now, licking their lips, going, "Is there any way we can get our hands on this guy? And what's the cheapest we can get him for?"
Firing Mark Savard is not the long-term answer for the Toronto Maple Leafs, clearly. But I just think with Steven Stamkos, and he's from Toronto, he's considered signing there in the past as a free agent. I believe his career would be incomplete if he didn't go back there at some point. I feel like now's the time. Yet, is anybody up there even talking about it at all? Because from what I see from the insiders, all they're talking about is Rasmus Andersson with the Flames.
Yeah, well, that's another one. Where's Anderson going? And of course, you're like me. You listen every year, all the different scenarios. Some people say he's only going to Vegas. Boy, that would be nice in Vegas for the Vegas fans and for the team. Some people are wondering if he can just go down the road there to the Oilers. He would sure look good on the Oilers back end. I'll tell you what, he'd look good on any back end on any team. He's such a good player. One to watch and see. You'd have to think, if I was a betting man, I'd say Vegas. If there's any interest there, our buddy in Vegas will get whatever he wants done, and he'd slot in nicely there with what they got going on right now.
I apologize for the connection issues. I think you're having a bit of it's on me. It's on me. Seems I'm seeing making news. Bad reasons are like the New Jersey Devils, that they're not all that. Are they a team that's a contender or a pretender at this point, New Jersey?
Hey, there's another team where you can say, hey, that might be a landing spot for a guy like Stamkos. But I don't know. You tell me, what week is it? What day is it? They're you watch them for 3 weeks in a row, and they go, holy man, these guys have a good chance to win the cup this year. They might just need a little tweak, a little trade, and then you watch them play the next 3 weeks, and you go, well, these guys will be lucky to even make the playoffs. And they've got such a good team. They got a lot of first overall draft picks on the team. You look at everything they've added, you wonder, how are they not more of a powerhouse right now? But you know what? For a team like that, I think it's just, do you hit your stride at the right time? Is everything going at the right time? Because when they look very tough to beat. They look like one of the top 2-3 teams in the league. But which team are you going to get cut in playoff time? That'll answer that question.
Speaking of, just some rapid fire questions here in the time we have left. Anaheim is for real, right? They've arrived?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you watched this Beckett Seneca kid? Beckett Seneca, everybody was surprised when he went third overall in the draft, including himself. If you see the replay, he was looking around and going, what? Boy, does he ever look like a solid hockey player. Obviously, him and Demidov are leading the rookie scoring, I think, with 28 points apiece. But you watch that kid play. He's, what, 6'3", or 6'4", can skate like the wind. He's smooth. He can make some hits, take some hits. That's a solid player. And then you look at all those young guys that are coming around together. Look out. They're going to be one of the better teams in that division for many years to come, the way that Verbeek's been so patient and the way he's built it there. And the thing I like the most about that team is that's a playoff team. You look at the Mason McTavish, the Seneca, the big guys that they've got, big, strong guys. Kreider's in there now. Everybody that they've added, they've got big, strong guys that are also skilled, and that's going to be tough to play against come playoff time.
Well, it was a long time coming. It looks like the only thing they were missing was a coach to bring it all together, and God bless Joel Quenneville. I also would be remiss if I didn't ask you for a World Juniors preview. What are your thoughts?
I think Canada, if you look at the rosters this year, U.S. isn't going to be quite what they were. They've still got, Cole Hudson, the only D-man to ever win the scoring race in a World Junior tournament. He'll be back. They got Yzerman. They've got the biggest question in the U.S. is the goaltending right now, but you only need one guy to get hot for a week or two. So that wouldn't be a sore spot for me on that team, but they're not what they were the last couple of years. Canada's roster looks unbelievable. It always looks good, but this year with McKenna, and it looks like McKenna might be playing on the second line right now, which is great because of just the chemistry that he had with Martin in the Swedish game, I guess. Why not spread it out a little bit? You got Porter, Martone, and Misa. Big, strong, skilled guys, and you got a great defense. You got two of the best goalies in the tournament. I think Canada's going to win it this year, especially after being ousted, coming fifth in the tournament 2 years in a row. That's got to sting a little bit. But when you look at that roster, that's a heck of a roster. But you can never overlook someone like the Swedes. You look at that young Stenberg's doing in the Swedish Hockey League. He's around a point a game or maybe over a point a game as a 17-year-old. He's technically 1 year younger than McKenna. So watch for him to go either 1, 2, or 3 in the draft. It's going to be exciting to see him playing in this tournament too. But if I had to make my guess, surprise, surprise, I'm gonna say Canada. Canada takes home the gold. We're due.
The Canadian guy picks Canada to win. Fantastic. Merry Christmas, Jared. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Roddy.
Fantastic job. Okay, yeah, that was a lot of fun, as always, with our good guy, Jared Dumba. We'll be right back the rest of the way. Viewer update and viewer takeover and sports update right after this.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events, that's the EMJ difference.
We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote your effort, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more. There's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hiring a video company shouldn't be complicated. Click, pay, done. Skycron.com/Regina.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're really going to see who's paying attention today in this sports update. So just hang on. But first, I got to tell you, Outlaw Communications, where creativity isn't a hobby, it's a way of life. From strategic communications to leadership training and conversational content, we help your message connect and inspire. Look them up, Outlaw Communications, helping companies around the world. Okay, now, before I get to a sad story out of Canada, and what I'm hearing from our Vegas viewers is they like our Canadian flavor to this show, even though let's just say originally Canadian, living in Florida. We're all watching college football, aren't? Well, not everybody, as we look at the sports update for Ultimate Fan Zone. Last weekend's first round of the college football playoff averaged 9.9 million viewers. That is a 7% drop from last year. A big reason for the drop was that the final game, James Madison versus Oregon, was on TNT and not on ABC and ESPN, along with an NFL game in prime time right up against it. The Bears' overtime victory over the Packers on Fox averaged 21.3 million viewers, while Oregon's victory over James Madison drew 4.4. Last year's Ohio State-Tennessee game on ABC and ESPN averaged 14.3 million, plus it did not go up against an NFL game. The most watched college football playoff game of the weekend was Alabama's 34-24 comeback victory over Oklahoma, which averaged 14.9 million on the Friday night, but that was aired on ABC and ESPN. Now, I think you all care about this, right? Because you're sports fans. Not only was that the highest viewed college football playoff first round game in the 2 years of the expanded 12-team field, it was the 5th most watched game of the season. 6 of the top 20 most viewed games this year involve Alabama. So I'll say this again. I guess I don't really know why these leagues go up against each other. They take runs at each other, other than I guess they're sports people, they're business people, and they're competitive. But if you remember a year ago, and we weren't even on the air yet in Nevada, but Jim Barker, who you all know now, is on with us every Friday. They were playing those college football games on the Sunday against the NFL and Saturday too. And we're like, how's this going to go? And Jim said at the time, a guy that's worked in all the leagues, he goes, we'll find out next year how it went to see if college football goes up against the NFL on the Sunday. What we found out, despite the popularity of college football in America, the NFL is still the daddy. And getting bigger as we see them moving into Christmas Day with a triple header on Christmas Day. Now, here's where I'll see who's paying attention. This is a news story out of Canada, but it affects me personally. The Public Health Agency of Canada is reporting a 5th hospitalization in an E. coli outbreak linked to recalled Pillsbury brand pizza pops. This is my favorite food on God's green earth. Pizza pops. For the Americans that don't know, they're like frozen calzones. The federal agency says 23 people got sick with a bacterial illness in 7 provinces after eating or handling certain flavors of the frozen snack between early October and late November. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency recalled several pepperoni and bacon pizza pops on Sunday due to an E. coli contamination that is under investigation. The outbreak has now reached Alberta, Ontario, BC, New Brunswick, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Newfoundland and Labrador. The Public Health Agency of Canada says for every case that is lab confirmed, there are an estimated 32 more undetected in the community. Can I say fake news? I have a very tough time believing this. Producer Corey has just said in my ear they've got more stuff. I don't necessarily know what that means, Corey, but a few years ago, that was their ad campaign in the 90s? I don't remember that. They've got more stuff. I'll have to look that up. I don't need an ad campaign for pizza pops. I've been eating them since the 70s. They're based in Winnipeg, and I love them. And I actually posted to Twitter during COVID. I said, you know what's great? Pizza pops. They retweeted it and said, you know what's great, Rod? You. Pizza pops did that out of Winnipeg. I refuse to believe that they are responsible for people getting sick. Look elsewhere. That just told you a lot about me. Sports update and Pep Pizza Pop update for Ultimate Fan Zone Sports Store. Get your game day gear in-store or online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Overtime's next here on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network and WQVZ Radio.
This is a test pattern. This is what happens when your video company screws up. You don't want your clients to see a screw-up. Hire a company that only does video, so it won't screw up. Then, people who give you money will see less of these and more of you. Skycron.com/live.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Sports fans, daytime sports talk gets a whole lot better weekdays at noon Eastern with the Rod Pedersen Show. Talking sports daily with A-list guests, and the best part is, you can always join the discussion as we're the most interactive talk show on television. Broadcasting from coast to coast from the biggest events like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup Final, Grey Cup, and more, there's nothing like it in the game today. The Rod Pedersen Show, daily at noon Eastern and 10 p.m. Pacific on Game Plus Network.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You have a vision, a big idea, but how do you turn ambition into absolute impact? It starts with connection. Booking top-tier speakers and executing seamless events. That's the EMJ difference.
We position your brand where it belongs, Guy, through powerful advertising, strategic media, and promotion that drives results. At EMJ Marketing, we don't just promote, we partner. Your growth, our mission.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon and
Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Looking for a new ride without the big city pressure? Come to Western Dodge in Moose Jaw, where you'll find an unbeatable lineup of Ram trucks, Jeep SUVs, Dodge Muscle, and Chrysler family rides. With knowledgeable staff, great prices, and that friendly Moose Jaw touch, you'll drive away with confidence. Western Dodge, big selection, small town service. Visit us today or browse online at westerndodge.ca. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the final segment of the program. It is Overtime, brought to you by our friends at Overtime Hockey Lanes in Calgary. And depending, if you engage me with comments, we'll keep that going throughout all of Overtime, which is the most fun for me. But if you don't, then I will get into our deal or no deal NFL picks for week 17. I'm not sure we even have time to do that, but either way, our picks are brought to you by Pump Checks. I'm just starting the timer here on the Overtime segment. Overtime Hockey Lanes in Calgary. Oh, have you been there yet, by the way, on these Christmas holidays? Now's the time. You still got over a week to go. 28th Street, Northeast Calgary. Get the kids out of the house. Get them down there. You've wanted to take them. You've wanted to have a reason to go and check out this thing that Rod keeps talking about every day for years. Now's your chance. Overtime Hockey Lanes in Calgary, where skill and fun collide. Or as I like to call it, an amusement park for hockey players. Just tell Randy and Michelle you saw us talking about them here. That would help us out greatly. My good friend Trevor writes in from WQAM Radio in Miami, 560 WQAM. He says, "What up, Rod?" His name's Trevor Harris. Same name as the Grey Cup winning quarterback of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He says, "What up, Rod? Miami, Texas A&M on that Saturday. I saw Miami, Texas A&M peaked at 19 million. I don't know, Trevor. I was listening on the radio. I was actually listening on the post-game show. I watched it too. I was one of the 19 million. I'm just reading what they said here. Glenn in Medicine Hat regarding DK Metcalf being suspended 2 games. I'm saying it. I'm like the guy yelling, the lone voice in the forest yelling, saying DK Metcalf shouldn't have been suspended, depending on what the fan said. I just don't like any fan being able to say whatever they want without fear of retribution. It's old school. We had I don't know if Vancouver Eric is still still watching. He wrote in earlier and said, "Yes, Rod, you are the definition of old school." Something like that. Well, my brother says at the end of the day, all that's going to be left standing is old school principles. Anyways, Glenn in Medicine Hat writes in, he says, Metcalf could have taken a page for the Mike Milbury playbook and shoe department. Well, we all remember that, which, by the way, again, the other day was the anniversary of Boston Bruins great Mike Milbury climbing into the crowd in New York and beating someone with their own shoe. What's wrong with that? Yeah, he could have taken it. I don't think that would. He got 2 games for what he did. He would have been thrown in jail now. Regarding our hockey talk with Jared Dumba, the Tulsa King. That's what I call him, the Tulsa King. Mr. Public Pain, watching on YouTube, writes in and he says, are these guys Oiler fans? No, we're not. No. Why do you ask? I'm a fan, I guess, of the Florida Panthers and to a degree the Vegas Golden Knights, because this show airs across Nevada every day on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. But I'm not really a fan of anybody, frankly. I do like that conversation I had recently with Bill Lindsay, the Florida Panthers great, now radio color man. He was like, who's your team? I said, well, I live here, so Florida, I guess. And he's like, no, really? The inference being nobody grew up a Florida Panthers fan. Who really is your team? I'm like, oh, it was the Oilers, but they're not anymore for a variety of reasons. Jeremy writes in from Winnipeg, says, let's go Red Wings. Might be the year. He says, I like Sider when Yzerman drafted him early. He was shocked. Those stories are fantastic. But that worked out for Sider and has worked out for the Detroit Red Wings, hasn't it? Those stories of guys going way higher than they were expected to go. I've been at many NHL drafts. Those are great stories. David number 1 in Winnipeg writes in and he says, Merry Christmas, Rod Squad. My Christmas wish would be for the Jets to turn this stuff around and be the team that we all know they can be. There's still a half a season to be played. And, it's a broken record. I feel like I'm not going to be the one to tell anybody in Winnipeg how to feel about their hockey team. To say be patient and have faith, you've heard it for 50 years. So you certainly have the right attitude. The team's good enough. Let's see. Trevor from WQAM. We got to get you on the Cats and Bolts podcast again soon, Trevor. What's your availability? You know when we air. Trevor says, DK Metcalf took a page of Ty Domi with the fan falling in the penalty box in Philly. And Trevor says, are the Red Wings the best story so far in the NHL season? Well, I said, you guys engage me with comments, and I'd rather do that than sit here and make NFL picks on my own. The Red Wings are one of the best stories. Frankly, I want to say the Anaheim Ducks and Joel Quenneville's redemption. Let's say, again, as I just said to the Jets fan, let's say we're only halfway through the season. The best first half story, Detroit and Anaheim. The combatants of the what? 2003 Stanley Cup final, wasn't it? Bill, Leafs fan, writes in, he says, I cheer for a good game, most of all. Yes, but that only gets you so far. God bless you, Bill, for that attitude. Most people want wins, and if they don't want wins, they're angry. That needs to change. Maybe everybody needs to look at it the same as Bill going into the new year, which incidentally will be on the air next. Oh, it was the 2007 Western Conference Finals. Thank you, Trevor. This has to come from a Philly fan of all people. We'll be off Thursday. We'll be off Friday, observing Christmas. Because we are Christians here. You are still today, aren't you, Corey? He doesn't want to answer. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Christian, not Catholic. He wants to clarify. We'll be back anymore, he says. But we will be on the air next week with a lot of year-end shows. We'll be handing out the Roddies. Trevor, if you don't know, ask me. Until then, season's greetings. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Silver State Sports Entertainment Network. See you next week.
That